Okay, add history. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. I thought I was going early, and it turns out I started late. Apologies. My name is Jennifer Neal, and I am with Creating Magic Vacations. And I just returned from an amazing maiden voyage on the Scarlet Lady. She is a one of 4 Virgin Voyages cruise ships, and she was just phenomenal. We were in the Bahamas for 4 days, and had a great time. So if you're watching me live, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching on the replay, thank you too for joining. There will be a special gift that Virgin gave me to pass on to you when you book with me. So please hang through and find out all there is to know about this fabulous new cruise line. And when you're ready, give me a call on the phone number that's shown right there, 214-868-2833. And let's talk about all the whatever additional questions that pop into your head after this presentation. Give me a call, let's talk, and let's see what I can do for you. So here we go. To kick everything off, you see the Virgin logo and the Scarlet Lady's ship. And then you can see the itinerary that I was fortunate to be able to go on. We shipped out of Miami and went to Nassau, Bahamas. And then we went to the Virgin private beach on Bimini Island. So it was really great time. My friend Paula was asking me about what the experience was like there at the Miami cruise terminal. And it was there was a lot of people, and because a lot of people came early, so even though we scheduled our time, some people showed up early, and so that created a little bit of a little chaos, but it wasn't bad. I mean, they had it under control. We were in line, and it was very organized once they got the early arrivals managed. So we went through, we did our rapid COVID test, and then they had some other areas that we went through to get more information about the ship. And then there was a sitting area where we waited for the text to come through. It took about 20 to 30 minutes, I think, on average, is what it looked like for the rapid results to come back. And then we got our little piece of paper, and we went to the person that led us on the ship, showed him our piece of paper. And as soon as we got past her, there were some beautiful mermaids that we could take pictures with. And then there was a bar where we could get a cold beverage and some water. And then we got in line and just waited to establish all the stuff that we needed to do for our cabin. So, and we had to activate our bands. So you get, when you do a Virgin cruise, you get this cute little bracelet. It does have the chip in there, so it opens your cabin. It allows you to charge to your room, all the good stuff, and then get on and off the ship. You have to have your band for everything. So that all gets set up before we got on the ship. We had to wear a mask the whole time that we were in the cruise terminal. But once we got on the ship, we removed our masks. The crew were wearing masks, but the sailors, which is what the guests are, sailors did not have to wear masks the entire time. So it was really nice. All right, so as Virgin likes to say, they are a yacht-inspired boutique hotel at sea. So what does that mean? Number one, Number one, no nickel and diming. So a lot is included in the price that you pay for your cruise. And that includes tips. That's a nice one, that tips are all included. Also included are your group workouts. And we're going to talk more about that. But this is the cruise line that has the most offerings for group workouts. So you have yoga, you have meditation, you have cycle, you have HIIT workouts, strength workouts, and they even have a bungee class. So if you haven't seen any of those videos, my friend, you should check them out because they're hilarious. So group workouts are included in the price of your cruise. You also, basic beverages, your regular coffees, your sodas, your water, all that good stuff is all included. Then you have all your food. And this is a little different from some of our other luxury level cruise lines in that even if you have to make a reservation reservation is recommended to dine at that restaurant, it's still included in the price of your voyage. So that's really nice. If you have to order room service, that's also included the price of the food, but there is a separate charge for bringing the food to you. So just so you know, every time you order room service, there is a little bit of an extra charge. Free Wi-Fi is included in the price of your cruise. And I found the Wi-Fi to be pretty good for just checking text messages, getting onto Facebook to post. I was posting updates and posting pictures, and I even posted short, 10, 15-second videos. And the Wi-Fi was even working out on the terrace. So I could sit out in my hammock and work on my phone, posting things about the cruise. So that's all included in the price of the cruise. And of course, this beauty right here. Yeah, it stays with you. All right, so here's a look at the cabin. I did have a sea terrace cabin, which for those of you that do other cruise lines, the terrace, the veranda, same thing. It's where you can actually walk out onto the balcony. And that was super nice. There is a hammock, a red hammock that's out there that's quite comfortable. Not something you'd want to sleep in, but it's definitely comfortable for sitting, taking some good selfies, just relaxing outside while you get ready for your exciting day on your Virgin Voyage. Also in the cabins, you have a flat screen TV and cabin technology that's really cool. It was kind of funny. When I booked this trip, my husband was going to go with me, but then work got in the way. So he got to go to Delaware and I got to go to Miami. So my mom went with me. And so I'm sure you're kind of going, oh, 2 women, that could be kind of crazy in the tight quarters, but it wasn't. We had no problem with space. We kind of set it up where she kind of took over the bathroom and that countertop, and I took over on the other side. There was a countertop that you can kind of see in the back of the slide. And that's where I kind of put all my stuff. So we had plenty of space for 2 women to spread out their makeup and their hair products and whatever we needed. It worked really, really well for us. You can see in this slide that there is me in the hammock, and there's also the shower is, it's a stand-up shower. It's going to be fairly basic. If you're a large person, it may not be real comfortable. My mom and I commented on that a few times. But the products are there for you. Of course, they refill them. They do have that nice little attachment on the side of the shower. So you can either have your rainforest shower from right above you, or you can use that attachment that's on the wall to help you do whatever you got to do. And then there, right below the picture of the shower, you can see it almost looks like a small iPad. And that's what controls your room, the atmosphere of your room. So you can turn the TV on and off, change the channel, adjust the volume. You can also adjust the mood. So the lighting, if you want it nice and bright, you can hit, hey, I'm in a party mood, and the lights go nice and bright, and the curtains automatically open for you. Then if you're, in a subdued mood, getting ready for bed, you can hit that mood and the lighting will come down to low light and the curtains will automatically close. So that's all pretty cool. When we walked in, it was set up on a subdued setting. But when we walked in, everything brightened up and the curtains opened, and it was a very dramatic entrance for us into our cabin. Another great thing, and I see I put on their shortest muster ever, was that when we walked into the cabin, the TV was already going, and it told us to push play, and it started our safety video. So we just sat there in our room. We watched the safety video, as you can imagine, because it is, Virgin Records, all that good stuff. It was a lot of singing and dancing, and as entertaining as a safety video could possibly be. So it was actually pretty funny. And then I think it was at like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, we did have to go downstairs to muster. But again, it was less than 5 minutes that the crew member showed us how to put on our life vest, how to attach it, and what we needed to do in an emergency. And then she said, okay, bye. And that was it. So shortest, easiest, the least painful muster that I have ever been through, and would do it again in a heartbeat. And then the last picture that you see there on the slide is the closet area. So you can see my mom kind of left her suitcases there, but eventually we put them all under the bed because there was plenty of room under the bed for storing the suitcases. So that's what we did. But, like I said, 2 people, that was plenty of space for hanging up our clothes. And then I let my mom take over all the little shelving and stuff like that. And I just left my incidentals in my suitcase and pulled them out. It was plenty of space. It worked out really well. And so here is some of the really exciting part of the Virgin Voyage experience. The shows are phenomenal. So while I show you these videos, I'm going to take myself off the screen so I can make these as big as possible. And here we go. So I hope you can really see the energy was just to the roof. It was such high energy when they were doing this dance show. And one of the things that was really fun was I got there a little bit early, and I'll go back so you guys can see me here real quick. I got there a little bit early. Like I said, I was with my mom. So my mom kind of pooped out early and went to bed. So I was by myself. So I walked in. It's this huge theater. You see the stage. They have the lights. There's great music going, but there's not a lot else going on. So people are just kind of, milling about, not sure what's going on. And then you see some of the dancers come in, and you can tell that they're dancers. They're dressed in their jumpsuits and all this. And they started just kind of dancing with us. So we're dancing with them. We're wondering, okay, is this part of the show? Is it going to be that kind of a production? And then all of a sudden, the right song comes on and all of the performers scatter. So you had the main stage up front, then you had smaller stages, kind of circular stages around, and then you even had some performers up at the top in the balconies. So they're dancing everywhere. They did this number that I just showed you. We had a great time. They're trying to get other people to dance. You have the people from the balcony that come down and they run up and they're dancing with you, and then they're running up on the stage. So that was really cool. And then at one point, and I was cracking up, some stagehands come, some crew come out, and they start moving us like the airplane air traffic controllers do. And so this is what we saw. So all the dancers are holding those lights like air traffic controllers. You see the crew down there on the floor, and they're actually moving the stage. So they moved part of the main stage right into the middle of the dance floor. And then they started the show again. And again, they were running off the stage, running back onto the stage, interacting with sailors who were in the audience. So it was just so much energy and so much fun. So that is the show. So that was the first show that I got to watch, and I met all kinds of people. They kept moving the stage from the middle, then they moved it to the other end. A singer came out. She was very funny. The dancers continued to come down onto the dance floor and engage with us, and then they'd run back on stage. They did a bit where some people were in the balcony and they were talking to the person on the other side of the balcony. And then if you follow me on social media, especially Instagram, where I was posting a bunch, you saw the funny talking cat head that told us the rules and asked us to be respectful of the dancers and not touch them, and be respectful of each other. And if somebody doesn't want to dance with you, that's okay. We can still have a good time. So it was really clever, funny. You incorporating a lot of social media elements as well as dancing and singing and just tons of inclusion and super fun. All right. Next. Oops, I don't want to do that. Although I did love it. There we go. All right, and this was pretty cool. In the elevators, which there are 3 banks of elevators, and I will tell you, especially if you do cruises where there are lots of kids on the cruise ship, sometimes you can wait a long time for an elevator. So Virgin being adults only, that's one place you see it. I barely had to wait for an elevator ever, which was nice because normally I take the stairs, and I did take the stairs a lot. But when I was with my mom, you know, she's in her mid 70s, so the stairs are not really her friend these days. So I took the elevator more than I normally would have. And so it was really nice that we didn't have to wait a long time to get on the elevators. Now you would think, okay, Jen, you're spending a lot of time talking about an elevator, but that is part of the Voyage experience, is the elevators. Look at this. So the back wall is all these cool bubbles. I'm going to let you see that again. And, you know, you walk in and it's very soothing lighting, like scarlets, reds, purplish. And it was just really cool. I mean, it was just fun. And then you can see, here's the view from, again, from my hammock and my terrace as the sun goes down. It was just lovely. Truly, truly lovely. Oops. Okay. Coming back onto the screen. The next day, I really got to explore. The sun was shining. It was bright. It was beautiful. So I explored the outside of the ship a lot. And this is what I stumbled upon is playground. It's absolutely an adult playground on the upper decks. So you can see here, you have these little trampoline style swings. And then we have of course, lots of hot tubs. There was a glow in the dark black light basketball court. So you could play basketball during the day. You could shoot some hoops at night if you wanted to. So that was really cool. There's even a little teeter-totter and foosball table. So all the good stuff. Of course, the pool. And some other bloggers have talked about how small the pool is on the Virgin ship, on the Scarlet Lady especially. And it's not really meant for swimming laps at all, but it gets deep in the middle. And then I think you can tell at the one end how it's really white. So it has that sitting platform where it's just, a foot of water and you can just sit there and visit or have a beverage. So it's not meant to be a big exercise pool. And they don't want to encourage splashing and rowdiness. I don't know, but they do have a lot of these smaller pools that you see off to the left. Those are not all hot tubs. A lot of these are just smaller pools. So you can still be in the water and socialize and have a good time. And there is a private pool that we're going to talk about in a little while for those who are staying in the Rockstar Suites. So the outdoor is really cool. And as you can see that sign that says save water, drink champagne. So all over the ship, there are lots and lots of places that you can do selfies. Of course, they are catering to I guess what we assume is the younger crowd, the millennials, who are all about the selfies. But it's not just for millennials, because I was taking a ton of pictures and selfies. It was so much fun. And tons of people are happy to help you out. So I got to take a lot more pictures, or I got to have more pictures of myself than I normally get, because I'm usually the one taking the pictures of my friends and family. So so that was really cool. All right. So on day 2, after doing some exploring and some picture taking, I hit the gym. Yes, I did. So this is my friend Reef. He and I are now, social media friends. So it was a great cycle instructor. We team taught. We did team teach a class. As soon as he spotted me in the crowd and went, "You've done this a lot, haven't you?" So that was really fun. We got to play on the bikes and just really have a great time. In addition to their dedicated cycle studio, every day they had sunrise yoga, followed by a meditation, which I thought was really fabulous. And then, again, I'm going to take myself off the screen for just a minute so you guys can really see the dance studio. So they have a dedicated dance studio. And if you look at the ceiling, you can kind of see the attachments hanging down. And that's where they do the bungee class. So they have 6, I think it was only 6 attachments for their bungee class. So if that's something that you're going to want to do when you do your Virgin voyage, as soon as you get on the ship, reserve your spot, because it is one that you need to reserve. It did happen where they had fewer spots available for yoga and cycle and the other classes than was really necessary. So I think they were kind of thinking that they would really have to limit the number of people that could take a class. But then after we got on the ship, they changed the number of people that they would allow in the classes. So Reef told me, hey, if it says it's full, just show up. Just come anyway, because the one drawback with being so driven to the app is that when you make changes, you have to be able to update the app. And so they weren't able to do that once we left Miami. And they really discouraged you from deleting the app and re-adding it because it wasn't really working well. Again, once we left Miami, that didn't work very well to try and download the app. So before you go, definitely download the Virgin Voyages app, have your login, have everything set up on the app before you go, because you really need it to reserve your spots for classes. But even if you don't get that spot, show up and they'll probably be able to accommodate you, or they'll at least do their best. And hello, everybody. I see we have somebody here from Colombia. And somebody's on the ship now. Awesome. So if you could, well, obviously my friend who's on the ship is not going to be able to go onto StreamYard.com/Facebook. But everybody else, if you would like, I would love to know who you are. So please go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, enter your name so that I can tell who is on here giving me comments. And I will be answering questions at the end, unless something pops up that's like really crucial to what I'm talking about right at that moment. But otherwise, I'm going to save the questions until the end. There we go. All right. So when we do a cruise, we love to eat. So again, like I said, all the food is included in your cruise price. And here are just some examples. So Test Kitchen and The Wake are both restaurants where it's recommended that you have a reservation before you come. Now, the great thing was, especially Test Kitchen, it filled up fast. Everybody had read about Test Kitchen and they wanted to get in there. So I was a little slow on the uptake there, but I had no problem getting in. So through the app, I was able to just get on a wait list, and in about 20 minutes, they texted me that my table was ready. So that was great. I wanted to do a special event that was there at the Test Kitchen that was really popular. Again, it was already full, so I went over to Sailor Services, and they were able to get me in within 10 minutes of me asking. So I'm sure that's not always the case. This sailing was at almost exactly 50% capacity. So, when they build up and get to the point where they're back to, 90 and 100% capacity, that may not be the case, but hopefully they'll be offering more of the experiences to accommodate all those additional people. So Test Kitchen was by far my favorite. It's also probably the place where you can get the healthiest food. I'm going to go into full screen mode here so you can see those pictures a little bit bigger. It was a 6-course dish, or a 6-course meal. And so our first dish was that mushroom looking thing right there on top. And it was mushroom 5 different ways. So they had taken a mushroom puree, put it into a form, and then put it on the plate. And then there's little gel things that were some other kind of a mushroom. And then there were edible flowers on it. So it was really cool presentation, and it was delicious. And then the next thing that you see there is actually an egg yolk that they had somehow, it was kind of like candied. So it had a kind of shell around the yolk. So it stayed together. And it was on a bed of peas, green peas, with edible flowers. delicious. It was so good. And then we had a soup, also really good. And I'm sorry, I didn't write down exactly what the soup was, but it was really good. And then we cleansed our palate with a blue cheese, which is that mermaid fin, the white mermaid fin. And I'm not a big fan of blue cheese, so it was very mild. I did eat some of it, but it was a very mild blue cheese, so it was pretty good to me. And then the entree was venison. So that's that plate that you see that has the red splatter, and it has blueberries. So the red splatter is a beet puree, which was kind of sweet. And then you had the blueberries, which are also kind of sweet. And it went so well with the venison. It was delicious. Now, what was interesting, oh, and then our dessert, sorry. We had the chocolate dessert, which had a mousse filling. Absolutely delicious. It was a vanilla mousse, I believe. And it was really good. But what was interesting was the woman next to us, we had a couple sitting next to me and my mom, and the wife was vegan. So I got to see all of the dishes that she got served. And believe it or not, they weren't all salads. She was so happy. So that first picture is her dessert. So she was really happy. She was like, usually when I get a vegan dessert, it's a sorbet. And this was a cake, and it had filling, and it was all 100% vegan. So if you have a modified diet, they can definitely accommodate any dietary issues that you have. The other restaurant we went to, the one there on the right-hand side, is called The Wake, and that was their steakhouse. We went there for brunch, and instead of dinner, it was, really good. My mom got the French toast. I got the eggs Benedict. It was all lovely. It was nice that they had the option of either a bottomless mimosas or bottomless Bloody Marys. So my mom got the mimosas and I went for the Bloody Marys. And both were good. The Bloody Marys were spicy. They were nice and spicy. So if you like spicy Bloody Marys, they're going to take care of you at the Wake. The other things right there in the middle, the desserts. So the one to the right was a nice little cupcake with a chocolate mermaid tail on top. And that was served at the galley, which is the where you could, they would put things on a plate for you. So there are no buffets, but this was as close as it would come to a buffet because you could ask them to put a few things on a plate for you. Also at the galley, they had, oh my goodness, I wish I would have counted, probably 8 to 10 different eateries within the galley area. And you could walk around, look at what you want, and then you would go sit down and someone would come to your table and serve you. So you would just order what you wanted through the wait staff, and they would bring it to you at your table. And so it felt a little bit nicer, more personable than, doing a buffet. And then the ice cream, there is a on-demand, open all the time ice cream parlor. It's called Lick Me Tell Ice Cream. I love that. And the cone that I got, which you see right there, it's blue corn. It's a blue corn waffle cone. And I just went for the vanilla bean ice cream. It was really good. They have about 6 or 8 different flavors and 4 or 5 different style cones. So you could get a different combination multiple times a day if you would like to, and still be trying new stuff. So pretty fun. All right. Let's see. But in all, they do have, before I leave the food, in all, they have 6 restaurants where reservations are recommended. All different styles, from Mongolian style barbecue to, oh, now I'm trying to remember. There's an Italian restaurant where they make the pastas fresh every day. There is a Mexican food restaurant. Being from Texas, as you can imagine, I get a lot of good Mexican food, so we didn't pop in there. But I heard it's one of the guys who is a higher up for Virgin. He said that's his favorite, so he's there all the time. So after the 6 reservations recommended restaurants, there are 16 what I would call quick service restaurants, so, or quick service places. So that's like the ice cream place, the galley where they had the collection of foods. And then up on the deck, of course, there were a couple of places where you could get food while you were out in the sun. And then there are 12 specialty beverage bars. So the specialty beverage bars are going to be the places where you can get your specialty coffees like cappuccinos and lattes. There were a few of those around. There was, of course, there are lots of different types of adult beverage bars. So there was the place where you got craft beers. There were a few of those places. There was the martini bar. There was the champagne bar. So a bunch of different style adult beverage places. And then they even had a juice bar. So if you aren't feeling the need after a particularly wild night, you need to cleanse, you can go juice it up, baby, and get your cleanse on. Virgin does currently have a bar tab package, they call it, where you just prepay for your drink. So you can get anything you want. And it includes juices, the smoothies from the juice bar, the specialty coffees from all the coffee bars, as well as the adult beverages. So beer, wine, mixed drinks, all included in that bar tab. So if you buy a 300, so before you get on the ship, if you prepay for $300 worth of beverages, right now Virgin will give you an extra $50 on top of that. So nice little deal there. And I really liked it that it includes not just alcoholic beverages, but I like coffee. So I drink a couple of coffees a day. So it was nice that I could get a latte and a cappuccino or an espresso at night. All right. So moving on to Scarlet Night. So I am wearing red because it is the official color of Virgin Voyages. So every Virgin Voyage has a Scarlet Night. And I thought that I was going to be right there with it when I had my cute red shorts and my sassy white top. It had this fringe on it. It's a super cute white top. Have my heels working. Girl, I was so underdressed. It was fabulous, the costumes that we saw there. So, before, I don't even know how long I've been off the screen. There we go. So, before I start showing videos, that is why I have this lovely outfit here. You can see we have angel wings that are kind of in a scarlet color. We have the rainbow tutu, including some red. You can wear a bustier or a cute little bathing suit top. And then some people did sport a mask. So you'll see in the video some of the wild outfits that people brought. They also, that day of Scarlet Night, during the day, you can attend a class or whatever, a session to help you get ready. And so they had some of the fabulous hats, lots of feathers, lots of gold lame, lots of shimmer and glitter. And so you cannot be too fabulous for Scarlet Night. All right, going into video mode. This is what you're in for. So what they do on Scarlet Night, I should probably try to make this bigger, but Scarlet Night is really unique because, and I'm going to go back to that in just a minute, Scarlet Night is really unique because when they do the shows, it's almost like, have you ever done a progressive dinner where you move from one person's house to another person's house for each course of the meal? It's kind of like that. So it's like progressive entertainment. So we started at the back of the ship, and that's where this first video is being shot. We're on the back of the ship, and they're doing like a circus themed production, a circus type show. So it started with just this male and female dancer that came out, and they're dancing and they're interpreting the story on which Scarlet Night is based. And the story is that an octopus and a sailor fell in love, and the octopus had to save the sailor from drowning. And somehow or other, the sailor ended up going into the sky and becoming the moon. And the octopus kind of lost her power, and we're not really sure what happened to her. I never heard the whole story, but it's something like that. So the dancers are kind of interpreting the octopus and the sailor falling in love. And then as they are dancing, more acts, more performers come out of the crowd and start performing. So you end up with like a 3-ring circus happening right there on the back deck. And the two dancers never stop, but then you're adding a juggler, you're adding a hula hoop artist, all these kinds of things just start happening. So I'm going to go to the video again, and you can see there you have the jugglers, you have the baton twirler, the hula hoop girl was on the far side. I guess she'd already stopped. You have the 2 professional dancers, and then you had someone else dancing on the far side of the stage. So that was pretty cool. Then we moved from the back of the ship and we moved inside, and just inside there was like a coffee shop area. So there was a guy playing guitar and a girl that was singing, again, singing the story, singing and telling the story of the octopus and the mermaid. And she was using a flashlight. She was using a flashlight to kind of animate the story, sort of, by doing like, not really shadow puppets, but by using shadows on the wall and stuff like that. So that was really neat. Then we moved further towards the midship, and we had more entertainment where a flash dance mob happened in the champagne room. Then we moved into the center where it's called the roundabout. It's a giant staircase that takes you from deck 7 to deck 6. And that's where a lot of stuff happened. So we had more dancing. The flash mob dancers moved over and were around the spiral staircase. And then when we moved down the stairs, they had some, I'm trying to remember the order. They went into an improv show. And so they had 2 sailors, 2 guests that got married. And then 2 other guests, they were 2 crew, also got married. So there's 2 women and then 2 men that got married. And there were cast members in the audience who would get a group of people together and say, remember when Glenda, which was one of my new friends, remember when Glenda was in high school and all the funny things that she would do? Remember that, guys? And then the sailors, the guests, would come up with whatever Glenda was known for, which they picked getting so drunk she fell down. So it was really fun, a hilarious bit and show. Again, bringing the sailors into the show and part of the fun. The whole thing culminated up on the pool deck, deck 15, where it was just every entertainer on the ship going absolutely nuts. It was awesome. So watch this. So you got the pool in the middle and all these dancers around the edge. Then you have additional crew members kind of keeping them safe so people don't just jump up there. It was tons of fun. Again, super high energy. They had all the other performers. So you had the jugglers. Then at one point they got into the pool and they're dancing and splashing, and then dancers are inviting sailors to come into the pool with them. So again, my friend Glenda, she said, here, hold my shoes, and off she went into the pool, splashing and dancing and having a fabulous time. So it was tons of fun, and as you can see in the pictures, I got to pose with some beautiful mermen. They had the jewels all over their face, the beautiful elaborate headgear, and they were so kind to take pictures with tons and tons of people. But yeah, so that was that. There we go. Then the next day we were at, Nassau and had a great time there. I've been to Nassau quite a few times, so I actually chose to stay on the ship and do some more exploring and get some more pictures. So my mom and I went off for just a little while and had some fun. But then the next day we went to Bimini, and Virgin has their own beach there on Bimini, and it was really pretty. I'm not sure what I have here. Okay, so sorry. So you see, this is the view from, I was close to the DJ booth at this point. And so they have a big pool. They have the DJ there on the island. They do have a restaurant, so you can get food. There are multiple bars all around the pool. There's a big bar up where the restaurant is. They'll bring drinks to you on the beach. So you can see that there on the beach, they have a nice carpet to get you from the pool area over to the sand, and it runs all the way to the water. Lots of umbrellas, chairs, cushions, all that good stuff. There are private cabanas that you can rent and reserve all around. Then I thought this was pretty cool. They had these swings actually in the water, so that was fun. And then in the pool area, they have these big papas swings that are over the water at the bar. And then we had another video here, which I think was taken from the other end of the pool. And yeah, so I don't know if that one was so great, but Bimini was really pretty. We did do an excursion that day, so I didn't get as much time as I would have liked at Bimini. And by the time we got back after the excursion, things were kind of quiet and subdued, and a lot of people were already back on the ship. So my recommendation, especially the first time you go to Virgin's beach at Bimini, is just go to the beach. Don't do any excursions. I know a friend of mine, she had a fabulous time swimming with sharks off the coast of Bimini. But the first time you do it, I would experience all that Virgin has to offer there on the island and at the beach. And then maybe next time do an excursion, because it's you don't get to do the Virgin experience very often. So anyway. Okay. So those are all kind of the big selling points that Virgin has to offer. But if that's not enough, here are some of the other really fun things that happened. Since this was the maiden voyage, I got to rub elbows with a lot of the Virgin executives. So you can see right there in the middle of all of us is the president and CEO of Virgin Voyages. They have what we did that night, we took over one of the bars to do karaoke, because they have a karaoke area where you can reserve a small room and you and your friends can do karaoke, just like they do like in Japan, Hong Kong, places like that. So, but it got so booked and they had so many people on the last night that wanted to do it. So they just set everything up in one of their bars. And we had, I don't know, 50, 60 people crammed in there, all wanting to do karaoke. So it was pretty cool, pretty fun. Then they do have squid ink on the ship. So you can get a tattoo. This is one of my friend's husbands. LaDonna is her name. I can't remember her husband's name. But anyway, he got that nice big tattoo. He was very happy with it. He loved it. Just know, if that is your thing, you're going to spend at least $250 to get that tattoo. So there is a minimum. And then those of you that have done a few cruises, you've probably seen the rubber ducks. So I stumbled upon a little rubber ducky for a gentleman that was celebrating his 70th birthday. So yeah, I definitely played along with that, took a picture with the ducky, posted it on Facebook, and then set the ducky somewhere else on the ship so somebody else could have some fun with the rubber ducky. And then you can see another great place to take selfies. This is the hallway into oh, darn it. Anyway, it's into one of the dance clubs, the after hours dance clubs that I found myself at pretty much every night. And the Manor, yes, it's called the Manor. And so you go through this hallway, and it's the hallway that I'm standing in right there, where it's mirrors, it's silvery lights. It's perfect for doing selfies and really fun group pictures and all that good stuff. So if you want to spend a little extra and plus up your cruise experience, you can be a rock star and get a rock star suite. And one of the things that gets you is access to Richard's rooftop. So, so here is the video of Richard's rooftop, which is private and only for rock stars.
So here we have a look at the deck that's reserved for those who are staying in the rock star headquarters.
So there you have a hot tub.
And here is the funnest part. You get your own little trampoline. Enjoy that.
So yeah, so pretty fun. I mean, they're always trying to bring some fun elements to all of their spaces. So yeah, the whole rooftop, I just showed you half. So there's a whole nother half. And then in the middle, there's a large bar for serving everyone. So Rockstar status has its perks. You get early boarding through a VIP entrance. Fun fact, at the Miami Cruise Terminal, Virgin is building their own massive terminal. It's going to be Terminal V. Not surprising, Terminal Bay. So it's going to be huge. There's going to be a special place just for rock stars. And you're going to have a special entrance once all that is built and set up. You're going to have a special entrance where you're kept away from the general population to get on the ship. You also have priority access to booking your excursions, to making reservations at the restaurants, all that good stuff. You have 24/7 access to Rockstar agents and you have access to Richard's rooftop, which I just showed you here. You also get, here's some more pictures from that rooftop. So there's that big bar that I was talking about, and there I am shooting a selfie. And there I am in front of the the iridescent little panels that they had. So again, they give you lots of places for selfies, even up on the private deck that's reserved for rock stars. In addition to what I already talked about, the perks for being a rock star, some other perks that you get: bottomless in-room bar. You also have a daily bar tab with reasonable limits. So even though you have that bar tab and I haven't seen anything that told me how much that is. We're actually have a Rockstar suite booked for next year. So this time next year, I will know what that bottomless limit is, or what that daily bar tab is. And, but yeah, so they reserve the right to cut you off if you're going a little bit nuts on your bar tab. The Mega Rockstar also gets you premium Wi-Fi for streaming. So you get the free Wi-Fi for doing basic things like checking your social media, texting, if you need to make a phone call. I was able to do that. But if you want to do actual streaming, or maybe you need to log into your work's something, then you'll be able to do that you'll get the premium Wi-Fi as a Rockstar. You also get daily spa access to the thermal suite. So those of you that do Disney, this is similar to the rainforest, where you can go in, whenever you want, and, just have a great time taking care of your skin and pampering yourself a little bit. So that's what the thermal suite is. It includes mud, salt, and steam rooms, as well as a sauna, hot and cold plunge pools, and marble benches. So kind of like the loungers that they have at the rainforest, where they're heated and you can just sit there and relax. And there are also private transfers for those itineraries that go in and out of Miami, Barcelona, and Athens. All right. So what are we looking at? You're so excited about doing a Virgin voyage, you just can't wait. So what is it going to cost? So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So if you wanted to go in this year, you would qualify for what they call the Sea Blazer program. And the Sea Blazer gets you that extra perk every time you book of an extra $50 when you purchase a $300 bar tab. The Sea Blazer program also gets you a special gift, and these perks are for the rest of your life. So that's pretty cool that they're doing that. So my husband and I are already booked on the Scarlet New Year's Ahoy, and we would love to have some people sail with us. So please, if you're the least bit interested, look into that. The $3,438 is for two sailors. It's for two sailors in one cabin. And again, that includes your tips, your food, your non-alcoholic beverages, your basic coffee, and all of the entertainment there on the ship. So about $1,700 a person. Then if you want to sail a little bit later, next year, that third week of February is when we are far enough out that Virgin will give you an extra 10% off if you pay for your cruise in full 180 days out. So basically, like, we have until next summer to pay for our cruise next spring. We have until next spring to pay for our cruise that's in August. And if we fully pay for it more than 180 days before sailing, we can take an extra 10% off the price of our cruise. So that's really a nice perk. Additionally, so I just posted these two quotes here, but both of these are a little bit higher than what I normally see Virgin Cruises at. So I went ahead and looked today, and you could go next summer on this same 4-night itinerary that I just told you about, and it would be $700 per sailor, so $1,400 as opposed to the $3,400 that you see for New Year's. So that's a special event, so I'm sure they're going to have lots of special stuff, hence the higher price tag. But if you want to go next summer, you could go for $1,400. Two people could get one cabin. Also, if you wanted to do a 7-night cruise in Europe, you could do that for $1,350 per sailor. So they are definitely well priced for what you get, because the ship was clean. I felt very comfortable. Again, I was by myself most of the time, and I felt very comfortable everywhere I went on the ship. I did a lot of exploring by myself and never felt like I had to worry about anybody being drunk and hitting on me, any of that kind of stuff going on. So it was a really, really good experience. All right. So what next? You're so excited. You're like, okay, wow, I get all of that. And the numbers are surprisingly good. Woohoo! All right. So what's next? Call me. Give me a call. You can also DM me through Facebook. If you must reach out to me through email, that's fine. Go right ahead. But I would really like to talk to you about what your options are, maybe what itinerary is going to work the best for you. And then I want to be able to tell you about the special gift that Virgin has given me to pass on to you. It is a significant savings on any of the itineraries, but you have to give me a call and you have to book through me so I can get it all set up. So give me a call. I have 4 of these to share. If you're watching this on the replay, call me anyway. I may still have one. I hope not, but I may still have one. And I'm going to know about any additional specials that they're running. So give me a call, even if you're watching this a month, 2 months from now, and find out what you can do to get on one of these amazing ships. And that is my presentation. So take the rest of this day to sail into something spectacular. Bye, guys.